Good evening everyone, and welcome to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. It is the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here at the Virginia International Raceway, and tonight you'll be watching rounds 36 to 39 of the championship. Good evening everyone, as I'm back here once again alongside iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson, and also joining us back after a few weeks away is our usual commentary colleague Andrew Woodhouse. Andrew, good to see you back. Virginia International Raceway, a very long lap here. 4 brilliant races in the offering, I think.
Yeah, it's great to be back, guys. And Thursday nights haven't been the same for me, I must admit, since I've not been doing this. But we're here. Virginia International Raceway is the site. And, you know, it's a scene of, Alex, one of the most infamous clips, I think, of iRacing that's ever gone on, isn't it? Around the old oak tree on the first lap.
Oh, yeah, God, the World Championship preparation and the actual race, all those cars ploughing on into that tyre wall there. I expect to see a few will replicate that tonight.
Looking at the championship standings heading into this race meeting then, Stelin Chepelevsky leads Wojciech Savidovic by 73 points. Don't know whether that's a result of a post-race meeting penalty, because I'm sure they were a lot closer than that prior to this race meeting. But anyway, those are the top two at the top of the championship. Michael Sherback lies in third, just over 20 points behind Savidovic. Then it's Simon Field in fourth, Alex Smolensky fifth, Richard Gore sixth, Ben Hackerson doing well for Eclectic Motorsport in seventh, Jamie Rushworth in eighth, leading the race up with CQR cars, Alphalatech in ninth with Dan Hunt, and Ross Balfour in 10th. Over in the Pro-Am standings, we've got Paul Smith leading Roy Ververke by 104 points, Jay Wright in third, Scott Malcolm fourth, Nick McCarron in fifth, Craig Evans in sixth, Laura Bond seventh, Matt Bunn in eighth, Liam Atkins ninth, and John Roberts rounding out the top 10 there. And then finally, over in the team standings, we've got Alphalatech leading Apex Racing by 195 points, Simpson Racing in third, Friction Racing gaining a position up to fourth, Race Up down one to fifth, Sim Racer sixth, CQR Academy seventh, leading the Pro-Am teams, Eclectic Motorsport eighth, Engine All Direct ninth, Automech 10th, Spicer Heart 11th, and then Mainland Racing, the new team to the championship, in 12th. Andrew, we've got Race Up with CQR. They have a very strong team lineup, the likes of Ash Sutton, Jamie Rushworth, David Baker, to name a few, along with Michael Hall as well. But the season just hasn't started too well for them. They're down in 5th in the championship, and I expected them really to be higher than that.
Yeah, they've been lagging behind somewhat, haven't they? Lagging behind expectations and their rivals, to be honest. And I think they're really going to have a strong middle part of the season. This is go time. This is when they need to make a big push for the showdown. And there's no better time but now. And Virginia International Raceway, well, it's a tough track, isn't it, Adam? It's fast in places, but also very technically known as very undulating, and no margin for error either.
Well, yeah, it's no margin for error. Of course, this track's surrounded by grass, and it's also known to be pretty slippery, this grass as well. So if you do get wide onto it, it's very likely that you're not going to be able to get back onto it without losing a lot of time. And Alex, the run out of the Oak Tree corner we saw last season when we were here. If you got a good run, you're able to get a long slide, and the slipstream worked quite well here as well.
Pretty long straight that is coming out of there, and it's a tough corner beforehand as well. I mean, the guys will have a slight advantage with the front wheel drive. Is going to stop the well, it should stop the rear end coming out there, but we've just seen a couple of people just hanging that out around there. But it's easy to make a mistake around that section, but also easy to get it right. So if you get a good run, you can really take full advantage of that. Quite a big slipstream, and going up and into the roller coaster section, definitely a great opportunity for overtaking, and some good 2 wide action as well. And I think we'll see a lot of that through there as well, where drivers fight back, and we'll see a lot of to-in and fro-in, and as well in the first sector as well. We're watching just our Falatech car there going down the main straight, and that's quite a long straight, and this first sector really opens up for some good side-by-side racing. The track is narrow though, which could pose a few problems for drivers, especially in those opening laps.
Tell you what, draw a point to watch out for is that 90-degree right before the run to the Oak Tree. Remember last season there, cars trying to get overtaking moves done into that corner and ending up going wide. It did provide a lot of action there, and we had a bit of a crash on our way to the line between, I think it was Laura Bond that was in the running for her first win in the championship. Had a bit of contact on the long back straight and ended up in the trees. Well, qualifying is nearly finished. Just got under a minute left. Ash Sutton, no surprises there, at the top of the standings. 0.3 of a second ahead of Chepelewski. Dan Kraft in third. Dan Hunt fourth. David Baker fifth. George Simmons 6th, Roy Faverke 7th, Jack McIntyre 8th, Jamie Rushworth 9th, and Jamie Fluke in 10th. Andrew, it looks like that along with Savidovic losing a whole load of ground in the championship to Chepelewski last week, it also looks like he's serving a back of the grid penalty as well.
Also looks like he's got some friends with him at the back as well. It looks like a lot of people either not taking part in qualifying or not allowed to. And Alex, the naughty corner has filled up quite substantially, I think.
Yeah, I think the admin's doing a pretty good job this season on punishing these. It does make a big difference to your points when you see the drivers have to fight through. How many cars we've got out there right now? Let's have a quick look. 46. You know, it's not easy, and it really does hurt those opening few races.
Well, I know
For
from
a big
messing,
reverse grid.
I know from messing the qualifying up a few weeks ago and having to start 46th, 47th. Looking forward, seeing that just mountain and massive cars in front of you, it's really, really demoralising. Incidentally, a note on Ashley Sutton: he's going to be safe this week anyway because Matt Neal's nowhere to be found.
I'm sure it'd be called a half-wit, possibly.
Oh dear, well, take that, you idiot, is what I thought about Matt Neal.
Yeah.
Still,
Well,
no penalty. What a surprise. Anyway.
definitely. Yeah,
He's bigger than me. I'm not going to talk much more about Matt Neal.
Moving swiftly onwards.
He's quite a large chap.
Another MSA Championship, of course. Good to see the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship has got that MSA status. As Championship really is going places. Qualifying over then. Cars just coming across the line to complete their lap now. We'll run you through the grid anyway, and it's a pretty big one for this race meeting. 46 cars, and a whole load of them starting at the back of the grid. We'll also show you those in a moment. Then Ash Sutton at the top of the qualifying tree. Pole position and qualifying fastest in practice as well. Let's see if he can get it done in the race. He'll be starting on pole position for the race up with CQR team. Stelian Chepelewski starting in second on the front row, championship leader. Good performance from him in qualifying. Dan Kraft in third, Dan Hunt fourth. David Baker, good to see him back up inside the top 10. He seems to be getting some form together now. He's in fifth. George Simmons 6th, Michael Shellback in 7th, Roy Faverke 8th, Jack McIntyre in 9th, Jamie Rushworth rounding out the top 10. 11th for Jamie Fluke, 12th for Nathaniel Simpson. Jamie Fluke incidentally won the Kia official race here last night. Ross Balfour 13th, Ben Hackerson 14th, Colin Cunniff will start in 15th, Paul Smith 16th, Richard Gore in 17th, Alex Everett 18th, Simon Field 19th for Simpson Racing, and Matt Bunn rounding out your top 20. Laura Bond in 21st. As I said, came close to taking her first win in the BSR TC here last year, lining up in 21st. 22nd for Julian Janowski, 23rd for Steve Hefford, 24th Mark Johnston, 25th Sharon Kaiser, 26th Kip Stevens. Diego Malro will be starting in 27th on the grid, 28th for Russell Laidler, 29th Andrew Whitehead, Jörg Dankert for Mainland Racing in 30th, Peter Van Gaal is teammate in 31st, Jay Wright 32nd, Lee Berridge 33rd, 34th Stuart Atkinson, and then we get into the cars that have got to serve all those penalties. We've got Andreas Katz returning to the championship in 35th, Wojciech Savidovic in 36th, second in the championship of course, Alex Smolenski 37th, Pete Newman 38th, another big name there, Nick McCarron 39th, Nathan Davis 40th, 41st Steve Richardson, 42nd Robert Graham for Automech, Michael Hall, another race up a CQR car down there in 43rd, Liam Atkins 44th, Craig Evans 45th, and then Cesare Rizzo starting right at the back in 46th, and he has got a brilliant view of a whole load of Kia Optimas in front of him.
Not sure how brilliant he'll think it is.
No, definitely not.
However, it's a good job we started that grid run down quite early because there was quite a lot to get through. Alex, what's your feeling about this race? Because the first few corners could be pretty tricky with all these Kia Optimas just bottlenecking together a little bit.
I think, it's narrow.
Putting out a little bit there, mate.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it's not easy to go 2 or 3 wide or anything like that. So I think we're going to have to see how things go that first lap when we get down to Oak Tree. If we've lost a few people and it's fanned out by then, it'll be okay. But if it hasn't, well, it could be tricky.
Tree, of course, Adam's gone, isn't it? And it was blown over, I think, in a storm.
Yes, blown over. It's no longer there. Great to see that it's still here on iRacing, because I think it's still definitely one of the iconic corners on this circuit. 8 laps this race. Because it's such a long circuit, we have reduced the lap distance by 2. Incident limit 11. And of course we're in sunrise conditions here. Temperature's 30 degrees Celsius though, so still pretty warm. Track temperature 33 degrees as well. Right, there's Ash Sutton on the front row of the grid. Chepelevsky alongside him. And we'll see what their run is like into the first corner. Dan Craft and Daniel Hunt. Watch out for those two. The two Daniels on the second row of the grid. And then David Baker in 5th. Watch out for any good starts from the guys at the front. We have seen the lead positions change, and here we go. Race 36, the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway. Good start by Dan Craft in 3rd position. He's already got past Chepelevsky into 2nd and could have an opportunity to take the lead away from Ash Sutton. Look at that sight. 46 cars all flying into the first corner for the first time. Sutton's got the lead advantage. Are they all going to make it through safely? They're all being very calm, Andrew, it looks like. But yeah, Ash Sutton straight away up to the lead.
Some drivers with pit lane starts.
Oh no!
Idovic, Smolensky and Rizzo.
Sutton's off. He was sliding through turn 2 and he's lost the lead. And Dan Craft has now taken the lead. He's all over the place though. Hopefully he hasn't picked up a slowdown from that off-track excursion. But yeah, Ash Sutton losing the lead in that second corner. Just cold tyres, it looked like, getting sideways and losing the lead. Chepelevsky 3rd, Dan Hunt 4th, George Simmons in 5th, David Baker losing a position down to 6th, Michael Shellback 7th, Jack McIntyre is in 8th, 9th Jamie Rushworth, and running out the top 10 is Jamie Fluke. We're heading through this super fast section at the start of the race. On cold tyres, of course, drivers need to be careful. Sutton taking the lead back from Dan Craft to move down the inside into the left-hander, pretty close, and the car still sliding as we head up towards the oak tree for the first time on the brakes. Sutton locking the brakes there, very out of control first lap for the MG driver, but he's now back to the lead, Alex.
Yeah, great great first lap, like you say. He's giving it everything out there and just pushing those rears, and that's why the back end's coming around at the moment, but straight back to the lead. And he had a great oak tree there, and that's going to make a big difference to not being coming under threat into the roller coaster section. And that's actually Cheppy, who's closer to Craft right now.
Everybody very well behaved as they rounded that big old oak tree on the first lap. Nobody really even going for a move into there, so maybe lessons learned, Adam.
Yeah, lessons learned, and also, of course, this is the first of 4 races. Of course, they're all taking their time. Know that reverse grid could sometimes work in your favour, so they need to bear that in mind. Over the line we go then, first lap in the books. Ash Sutton with a 7/10 of a second lead over Dan Craft. Now we're going to see the cars, I think, probably splitting into their various packs. We haven't seen that at the last few races. We've seen them all really racing together. But I think really this is one of those circuits where you end up breaking into your own battles, and something we haven't seen in quite a while in the championship.
Potentially in race 1 as well. It's going to go more to form, isn't it? Qualifying pace, and Ashley Sutton was so fast in qualifying that really you couldn't see past him almost taking the win. But having said that, you know, we're only on lap 2. Anything can indeed happen. And as we saw with him going off on lap 1, well, Sutton is not always the most consistent driver in this series.
No, he likes to take the wins. But it's all about getting those finishes as well. However, he has had a good run. As Chepelevsky in 3rd position gets very sideways through this quick section and is off.
He's off the course. He's off.
Whoa! He's off, and he's on again just in front of his teammate Dan Hunt. But that was a scary moment from there, Alex.
Yeah, I think you know, we said about that particular corner earlier on being a bit of an issue, and drivers like to push it out there, and he had that little moment beforehand, and that pushed him that bit wide. But he was sensible. He got out of it straight away and didn't try and use too much gas to get back on there, as it could have just backfired big time. But yeah, rejoins just ahead of his teammate, which is fortunate, because I don't think Dan was going to put him under too much pressure.
Blew down the grass there, Adam, didn't he?
Yeah, quite.
There's no stopping that car, really, on such a roller coaster ride as you mentioned.
Quite a big section of grass there, and quite a quick corner as well. So he's lucky to stay on there. He's looking at his teammate. What's going on?
Rushworth off through the final corner there. Just took way too much speed in there. Slides wide. Fortunate not to go miles off, because we know how bad it is through there. And yeah, down to, what is that, 13th place now for Jamie Rushworth.
Rushworth down to 13th then. Behind him, there's a battle going on between the Simpson racing car of Nathaniel Simpson and the Eclectic Motorsport car.
Oh, Rushworth off again.
Rushworth's off again into the first corner.
They're having all sorts of trouble. Yeah, it's not going well for him so far, down to about 17th place now.
Season 4 champion, Jamie Rushworth started 10th on the grid and losing another few positions there. Side by side behind them, we've got Richard Gore and Matt Bunn. Matt Bunn, Pro-Am driver, of course. Richard Gore was running for the Pro-Am Championship last season, now a pro driver, doing well in terms of the Drivers' Championship, up inside the top 10. And this is very bumper to bumper here as we're heading towards this very fast left, right section as we go through this undulating part of the course. Let's see if anything happens between these guys. Very close. We've got Spicer Hart car there, that's Laura Bond. Simon Field there as well, the guy that led the championship for quite a bit at the start of the season.
And at one point last season as well, and the previous season actually.
Behind him he's got Steve Hefford. Hefford trying to have a look into the Oak Tree corner. Car off behind them. It was a mainland racing car and it was Diogo Melro, but it looks like he's managed to stay on and not hit any part of the wall. And now we're heading down the long back straight where the slipstream will be key. Richard Gore's been able to get an advantage where he has been able to escape. Meanwhile, Jamie Rushworth in front. It looks like he's closing onto the back of Alex Everett as we head up towards the roller coaster section.
Looking in, just checking to that battle with Everett and co there. It's very close, but Savidovic and Smolenski having their own private battle for 43rd and 44th places. They had to start from the pit lane, and as such, quite a way behind the rest of the pack. They will catch the pack, Adam, but they won't be able to get very far up it.
Two teammates, of course, both at Sim Racer, and also this actually could be one of the big battles for the reverse grid pole. Of course, it is such a long lap here that it's very hard to go a lap down unless you make a visit to the pits. So if we do get a full reverse grid rolled, I think we had 41. I think Alex, did we?
Oh, sorry guys, we've just literally flipped the camera and Steve Hefford is throwing it up the inside of Simon Field's. Field is around. That's through turn 1. It looks like Hefford's waiting for Field to try and come back to give him the place back, which I think is pretty good sportsmanship out there.
Almost looked like half a move from Hefford, Alex. He didn't quite commit, and you have that horrible feeling when you see the car understeering and you just can't. You back out of it, you understeer almost even more, and that's what happened to Steve Hefford that time.
Yeah, so Steve Hefford, who was down in 22nd place, into the first corner, just a little bit move up the inside, and allows Simon Field to try and get back on. So good driving from those guys. He's probably lost a whole load of positions as a result. Ash Sutton's not breaking away from these guys at the front though. The gap last time around was half a second. And what were the lap times like? Ash Sutton 1:52.6, Dan Craft's 1:52.4. And these short races, we're already halfway through them. We're on lap 4 of 8. Then it's 2 Alfa Alatech cars, Shepelevsky versus Hunt. And then it's close between George Simmons and David Baker. Baker will want that 5th place back after starting there, but has lost a position, of course, to Simmons at the start of the race. Heading into the roller coaster section now to end the lap. And
he's usually quite happy with 6th, though, Adam.
I'm sure he'll take a 6th place. Yeah, David Baker, the king of 6th.
In car number 6.
In car number 6.
Oh, sorry, car number 3.
Car number 3,
car number 6 last season, sorry.
Got a good run on Simmons this time though. We'll probably have a little look into turn 1. He needs more than 6 as well. He's had some bad races. He needs to get back in this top 10.
It's a hard corner to overtake in. Can't really go around the outside. May try a little cut back, but not enough room as Simmons just placing the car well and off out onto this slightly slower section. Parts of this track remind me of Cadwell Park, Adam, I think, with the open grass layout and the quite narrow sections.
Yeah, that section on your way towards the mountain is very narrow on that Cadwell Park circuit. And that sort of section there reminds me of it as well. But then you've got the long flowing section that we see at the beginning of the lap at Cadwell, sort of similar to this. And I do think there's pretty likeness to those two tracks. We're going
much longer, obviously.
Much longer. One's very short. And then this one, of course, very, very long. In fact, the distance here is 5.26 kilometres.
I believe that's about the same as Silverstone in length. So, an extremely long course, and that's the reason, of course, for the long lap times. However, it's quite a fast circuit with those big long straights. 3 quite significant straight sections that do cut the lap time down somewhat. And looking at trying now, David Baker. He's got the slipstream, but Going to run out straight, I think, Adam.
Oh, battle for the lead as well, Andrew. Ash Sutton versus Dan Craft. That was very close up towards the roller coaster section. Dan Craft did get alongside and was bump drafting the race up with CQR at times. No change in that battle that you were mentioning between David Baker and George Simmons, and also Rushworth, I think, as well. And off is George Simmons. Put 2 wheels into the grass on the exit of that section, and it's so easy. That grass just draws you wide, and he's losing a ton of positions there.
Yeah, 4 places lost now. He's behind. That's Jamie Fluke in the Apex Racing car. Then 2 seconds behind them to our colleague Paul Smith.
Yeah, Paul Smith doing reasonably well up inside the top 10. George Simmons looking to respond straight away, though. He's trying to get alongside Jack McIntyre for what is the battle over 7th and 8th place now. But not close enough to get anything done. I think we should just focus on this battle for the lead, because it's getting mightily tasty here. We're on lap 6 of 8. When we get to the line, there'll be 2 laps to go, and we've now got 4 cars battling for the lead. 2 Alfa Latek cars, 1 Friction, and Race Up with CQR at the front, with Ashley Sutton leading them round through the section. Left, right, left, and then right again before heading into this 90-degree left-hander, which some drivers have been known to throw it up the inside in the past. None of them do it this time, and now we're going to head up towards the oak tree. The very slow 2 90-degree right-handers here, and then we're on our way down the back straight. Dan Craft will be looking to get a good run out of here, so we can utilise the slipstream and try and get up to the back of Ashley Sutton, Alex.
Yeah, everybody just seemed to give each other a little bit of room. They were 0.2 of a second separated coming in there, but they're all just spaced out off that oak tree, so everyone just a little bit less confident than the other ahead. But yeah, I think Sutton's safe for this time, but yeah, Craft's been very good through this last sector as well, so let's see if he closes back up and can have another little look down into turn 1.
Adam, you can see just how much this track is absolutely torturing those tyres, especially on the front wheel drive car, the Kia Optima, and that's what the fast sweeping corners can do. And I wonder if Ashley Sutton just slightly struggling with the tyres, possibly overheating them slightly. We know that, especially with the iRacing software, if you overheat the tyres in any shape or form, it just gets worse for you as the race goes on.
Sutton's off!
There he goes!
And he's off.
That kind of proves the point, I guess.
And Sutton loses the lead. I was about to say, yeah, we've had a huge drop off in lap times, but yeah, Sutton was that a brake lock up, it looks like, or just out braking himself, and he goes straight on.
Just gonna have a look at it on replay, see exactly what happened there. Uncharacteristic mistake,
but quite a significant one, as it's dropped him down to, I think that's 8th.
Just a little bit late on the brakes, that's all. Like you say, the car just didn't stop. He had a lock up, and yeah, way off. But like you say, 8th place, big time issues, and 5 seconds behind the lead, so no chance to recover for that one.
Well, Dan Craft now leads. Last time you were here with us, Andrew, back at the Nürburgring, he was leading there until crashing off with a few corners to go in race 2. Just looking at the lap time drop off, Dan Craft's best lap time 1:52.4. Last time around 1:53.8. 30-degree temperatures here for race 1, and his tyres, yeah, definitely taking a pounding. Let's have a look at your top 10 quickly before we start the final lap. Dan Craft leads, Stedin Chepelevsky second, Dan Hunt in third, David Baker now in 4th place. He's got past and Shellback, and of course Simmons going wide. Jamie Fluke in 6th, 7th Jack McIntyre, 8th Ash Sutton, our leader, just a few corners to go, and George Simmons 9th, and Paul Smith in 10th, having to hold off Ross Balfour as well. So quite a few battles developing here in the late stages of this race.
As Shepelevsky is having a look at Craft here, getting ever closer to the back of that racing car.
To the final lap we go then, on to lap 8 of 8.
And here he comes, look, with the slipstream.
Into the first corner. Is Craft going to make sure he goes brakes right? Yes, he does. But look how close these 3 are. It's Alfa Latek, 2 Alfa Latek cars trying to get past the Friction Racing car of Dan Craft. Friction Racing have had a good start to the season. They are sitting in, whereabouts today? They are 4th in the championship, ahead of Race Up with CQR, of course. And Race Up were about to get a whole lot of points with Ash Sutton, of course, but obviously he's not going to take the win here. And now we're heading through this quick section now, out of the slow section, and now through this right left section. Hunt
still a lot of big names a long way down as well, Adam. So especially for CQR not having a great meeting already again.
44 reverse grid could be on the cards if we get a full. That is quite sensational. Up to the oak tree we go then, through the left hand. Are they all going to get through safely? Dancraft just runs a bit wide, puts two wheels over the curbs and possibly into grass. Ash Sutton's off again. He's going flying through the grass there, but he's going to come back on just in front of George Simmons. But now we're onto the back straight. Out of the oak tree, winding the car up. Full throttle now. Let's see if Stelin Chapelevsky can use the slipstream to close right onto the back of the friction racing car of Dan Hunt.
Testing the top end speed of this Kia Optima then over the hill. And tough section of corners this, because that's a blind right-hander and it's very difficult to spot that coming from such high speed. It looks like Daniel Craft's going to do enough. Adam, just a couple of corners to go now.
Here we go, out the final corner then. Surely he can get it home from here. I think he will, and he will. Race 36 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship goes to Dan Craft for Friction Racing. Good job from him. Inherited the lead with just a few laps to go ahead of Ash Sutton, who's coming across the line now. We've got David Baker got fourth in the end. He managed to get past Shellback. Jack McIntyre in 6th, Jamie Fluke 7th, Ash Sutton in the end after going off twice finishes in 8th and he goes off again.
Oh, somebody's off there. That's Pete Newman off in the middle sector of that last lap. Trying to push hard to go with Smolensky, I believe.
Newman, yeah, started.
Smolensky's just trying. Oh, he's right up behind is that Liam Atkins and he may nick that position. Don't think he's going to have the time.
Don't think he will, no. Just going across the line.
Mind you.
Very close, yeah. Probably less than a 10th in it. Yeah, was less than a 10th in it. 800ths. Liam Atkins taking 35th out of Alex Smolensky, of course, at the start from the pit lane with the likes of Wojciech Savidovic. Savidovic managed to get through to 33rd in the end. And 44 cars finishing on the lead lap with Rob Graham for Automech just coming through now, finishing over a minute behind the leaders. 44 cars could be reversed if we get a full, and of course on that Wheel of Fortune we do have the option to have two full reverse grids. Well, Alex, yeah, that race kept us on our toes. Ash Sutton looked like he was having it reasonably under control at the front, but I think we can probably safely say that those tyres might have just been a bit torched there by the end of the race. Yeah,
we know how aggressive he is on the brakes, one of the best on the brakes. But yeah, this time I think he just pushed him a little bit too far and the guys were biding their time and yeah, he made that mistake and made it easy for them, really.
By the way, something that we didn't cover is that Jörg Dankert actually got disqualified on the last lap. I think he might have hit Craig McLeod-Evans. However, ironically, he's actually put himself in position that if it's the full reverse grid, he'll actually get that. So, yeah, disqualification to pole position it could be, for instance, for Jörg Dankert.
Not the first time we've seen that in the BSRTC, didn't? Oh, George Simmons ended up causing a crash at the start of Zolder in the Winter Series and ended up getting reversed onto pole position. The organisers didn't take that too lightly.
The mother of all crashes.
The mother of all crashes. I urge you to go and watch it. It was at Zolder just in about December or January time. And yeah, caused a massive start line crash. But anyway.
That's what you call a track blockage.
A track blockage, definitely. I think if you looked it up in a dictionary, I think you'd see George Simmons' crash. But let's run you through the finishing order then from the first race of the evening. Dan Craft takes the win for Friction Racing. Stelin Chepelevsky in second, 3/10 of a second behind at the end of the race. Dan Hunt in third. More points and more podium credits for the Alfa Tech team. This shows you why they are at the top of the team's championship. David Baker finished in fourth in the end. It didn't look like he was going to be the leading racer with CQR car at the line for a while, but in the end he was. Michael Shellback in fifth, third of the Alfa Tech cars. Another good performance for an Alfa Tech driver. Jack McIntyre finished sixth, Jamie Fluke seventh, for Apex Racing eighth, Ash Sutton ninth, George Simmons, and Paul Smith finished in 10th. Good for his Pro-Am championship. 11th for Ross Balfour, 12th Roy for Verke, Jamie Rushworth 13th after skating wide early on, 14th for Nathaniel Simpson. 15th for Ben Hackerson, 16th Richard Gore, 17th Alex Everett, 18th Laura Bond, 19th Simon Field, and Russell Laidler finished in 20th. 21st for Colin Cunniff, 22nd for Matt Bunn, 23rd was Julian Janowski, 24th Andreas Katz from 35th on the grid, so a reasonable return to him for him in the championship, and of course will be in contention for the reverse grid. Steve Pepper 25th, 26th Mark Johnston, Sharon Kaiser 27th, Kip Stevens 28th, 29th for Lee Berridge, 43rd to 30th for Michael Hall in the race of a CQR car. Andrew Whitehead 31st, Jay Wright 32nd, Wojciech Savidovic starting from the pit lane. Only finished 35 seconds behind the leaders in the end, so good job from him. Stuart Atkinson 34th, Liam Atkins finished in 35th, Alex Malensky pushing him to the line then 36th, Pete Newman 37th, 38th for Craig Evans, 39th Nick McCarron, Nathan Davis 40th, Peter Van Gaal 41st, Steve Richardson 42nd, Rob Graham 43rd, 1 lap down Jörg Dankert after getting disqualified on the last lap, and Diego Malro finished 5 laps down, and Cesare Rizzo was 7 laps down.
All right. That was a big long list to read out as well, definitely. Some good performances in that race, though, and I think in general, everybody for there only to be 2 retirements, or 3 retirements in the end, it's pretty special, Alex, really, for such a difficult circuit like this.
Yeah, and it is one of the hardest tracks that we'll go to all season long. So yeah, credit.
That's why I didn't.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't fancy it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's I don't like this one, and this is normally like a drop week for me. If ever like the Grand Prix series used to go, I was like, nope. Always good points up for grabs though, because so many other people don't do it. So, but yeah, no, credit where credit is due. You know, for all those people to finish, huge grid there as well. And some really close battling going on all through that race. So yeah, top stuff.
What's that like, by the way, trying to thread the Formula 1 car through this place?
Do you know what? Actually, it's got quite a nice flow, and I do think the new car will be quite good through here. Although we haven't been here for quite some time, so I don't know. The Williams, once you got in a rhythm, it was great. And as long as the car was set up all right, of course. If it's not, yes. it was pure hell.
Well, let's have a look at the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid for the first time tonight. Going to set the grid for race 2, round 37 of the championship. 16 down to 25, I think it is now, with 2 full reverse grids available. And the cars eligible are Richard Gore, Alex Everett, Laura Bond, Simon Field, Russell Laidler, Colin Cunniff, Matt Bunn, Julian Janowski, Andreas Katz, Steve Hefford. And we have a full, as Andrew was mentioning earlier, Jörg Dankert will be the main beneficiary of that. Well then, Alex, time to do the first Wheel of Fortune of the evening.
Here we go then. First one tonight. Who will get it? Oh, who knows? Are we going to get a fall from the word go?
Haven't had the rest of the meeting interesting.
We nearly had a fall in the first for the second race of the evening at Indy.
So split. We got one in the second race, but this time it's 22nd, nowhere near full. Right in the middle, nothing to choose from on that one, but yeah, reasonable reverse grid nonetheless.
So Matt Bunn,
yes,
Matt Bunn will be on pole. Colin Cunniff alongside him. Russell Laidler in 3rd, Sam Field 4th, and Laura Bond will be in 5th. So relatively strong top 5, and it's good to see CQR Academy getting a pole position for the second race. So it all should be interesting.
It usually is, isn't it? The first race reverse grid's usually a very strong front of the field, and to be honest, I think we're getting to the point, Adam, where pretty much the whole field is pretty strong now, and we always say how strong the front is, but really, you look all the way down to, Wojciech Savidovic, I know he started from the back, but still only could get to 33rd. It was a time, Alex, when someone like Wojciech would start at the back or even in the pit lane, and he'd be able to finish in the top 10 or 15.
Yeah, not now. Not at all. It's amazing how much this series is coming on, and I think, give it a couple more seasons and it'll be even more competitive as well. So,
dread to think it'll be if it gets any closer.
That's it though, because we always think that some of the guys that are not often at the front that get reversed onto pole position, they always give it their all at the front and are able to hold off some of the guys that we always talk about, the likes of Savidovic and Shepelewski.
Well, remember we've got that 7K race coming up during the break as well. What's that? 3 weeks time, 4 weeks time until that race, something like that. It's not long at all, and that's sort of Ash Sutton, the pros, as in the iRacing pros. So that's the World Championship drivers, the Grand Prix drivers.
Are you going for it?
I'm in the box with you guys, and I come on. You know, they wouldn't let me on the track.
Oh,
you know,
it's about
you know,
time to stop making excuses.
You know, I'd clear up out there. They don't want me out on the track, do they? they want a chance for that prize money, you see. So yeah, but there's some
his
really
head won't
big
fit in the commentary box, Adam. If it
No.
gets, you know.
There's some big
Damn,
names
right.
out there, though. You got like you know, Kroenke, Hugo Louis.
I think he's scared.
William Levesque, you know, Isaac Price, Ray Alfowler, you know, Matt Booser. I think there's a whole bunch of different people doing it from all of the different series. So
Well,
you know,
in
it's
fairness,
going to be great. But what we don't have is there's no Gregor. Why Gregor doing it?
Gregor.
Call him out. Get him in there. Come on. Kia Fun. $750 on the line. Get in a car. It's a one-off race. Who cares?
See if we can get Rubens Barrichello in the car. That'd be
says
interesting.
Alex. Yeah, well, that's it. Someone needs to give Rubinho a call and see if he'll jump in the Kia. Right? Why not? If we make it an Interlagos, he might do it. Although he won't because he'll run out of fuel or crash or won't win somehow.
His infamous Interlagos jinx. Yeah,
I do love Rubens, but yeah, he just has some. If one driver has some bad luck at a track, dear me, that was him at Interlagos.
Oh yeah, I think.
What a race this was, though, here at Virginia at the first round of the evening. It's great to be back in this series. I've missed it.
Yeah, it definitely bites you the bug here in this BSR TC. Well, we're going to step aside just for a few moments here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and Motors TV. Join us after the break, where round 37 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship will be getting underway here at Virginia International Raceway. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back to the Virginia International Raceway here in America, and welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. This is round 37 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, and I'm back here along with Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson as always. And Andrew, yeah, good first race. The sun's come out now. How are the temperatures looking? Because the tyres definitely did take a beating in that first race. They are staying the same though, the temperatures.
Well, the air temperature is. However, the track temperature has shot up from 33 degrees in the morning conditions to 49 middle of the day. And Alex, as you well know, that's going to make the car very, very difficult to drive, especially at the end of the race.
That's it. We already saw issues with tyres in that first race. Although we hear that Sutton's problems was actually to do with his brakes rather than, or his brake pedal, rather than anything to do with tyres or anything. So, yeah, it's going to be. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. We saw tyre drop off quite dramatically in that last race, so I think this one will be even worse.
Lap times were dropping off by more than a second during the first race. Definitely something to watch, and even though
the drivers,
yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say quickly, the drivers are really going to have to think about preserving the tyres, because it really does work in this Kia Optima. You have so much grip later on. However, on a track like Virginia, Adam, it's very difficult to overtake. So, do you sacrifice the track position potentially early on to have a better finish to the race? But, well, maybe risking not being able to get through.
I think we probably could be in for a slow burner here. The action probably could be coming at the end. These drivers wanting to make sure that they have enough tyre life for the duration of the second race. Well, obviously not going to have enough time to run you through the 45 cars. But Matt Bunn's on pole, Colin Cunner second, Russell Laidler third, Simon Field will start fourth, Laura Bond fifth, 6th Alex Everett, 7th Richard Gore, 8th Ben Hackerson, 9th Nathaniel Simpson, Jamie Rushworth in 10th, 11th Roy Verke, 12th Ross Balfour, 13th Paul Smith, 14th George Simmons, 15th Ash Sutton, 16th Jamie Fluke, 17th Jack McIntyre, 18th Michael Shelbach, 19th David Baker, and then 20th Dan Hunt, 21st Daniel Chapelewski, and then 22nd our race one winner Dan Kraft.
Alright, I'll let you take a little breather. Time for race 2 here at Virginia. Gonna start anytime now as the green light is on. And it's an awful start from Bunn. It's not a great start from Cunniff either.
Oh no, 3 wide.
Laidler's having a look up the middle. This is going to be difficult. Right in front of the pack, 3 wide into the first corner. And there is a bit of contact. It's only light contact, but still causes a little bit of chaos behind as everyone bunches up. But it looks like once again everyone's got through.
Just Katz looked like he'd pick up a bit of damage, but yeah, apart from that, everyone threw it. Jamie Fluke's off.
Twice that was as well. He went off coming out of the first corner and again in the second. Somebody else off a CQR car just went flying. No, it wasn't a CQR. It was your own Kaiser in the engine oil direct car just going flying off as well. He's rejoined just behind Fluke, so those drivers not having the best of first laps this time.
Jack McIntyre didn't have a good first lap either. He's off. He's back on in the Spicer Heart livery car. No problem for one of the CQR Academy cars.
Sorry, I think it was Hackerson. Or Eclectic Motorsport, sorry to interrupt Adam, but he just went flying over a couple of the corners there, and he's holding up this pack. Is Ben Hackerson. The car must feel great on lap 1. You don't have the uncertainty of the cold tyres as is usually the case. There's almost contact there at the tree between Colin Cunniff and Richard Gore. I'm guessing that was what you were in and ahhing about, Mr. Simpson.
No, I wasn't actually. It was it was Hackerson actually just nerfed the tyre wall going through the oak tree there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a little bit of damage on that front right as well. So
it's actually front left damage. Curiously,
yeah, that's weird. Yeah, Balfour having a look on on Gore as well, side by side through the roller coaster. This is what we said we would probably see, and great driving from both of them.
Car spun at it's a sim racer car.
It's Hefford, and I think there's still some issues. Hefford's still trying to just rejoin. You see him there in the background. There he is.
Tell us what went on with that one.
It's not good at all. So he waited for everybody to go, and then thought, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to back it up and get back on. And then everybody's gone.
And Cunniff challenging for the lead, and it was too challenging for him, and he's gone. And Laidler's now into the lead past Matthew Bunn.
Right, we'll jump to that in just a second. I was just seeing what happened there then with Hereford. Isn't that always the way? You go back to look at something. Hereford just got caught in the middle of carnage, basically. Right, so I'm just watching this replay with Colin Cunniff now then. So we're heading down in towards turn 1, having a look on the outside, late on the brakes, trying to work it round there. Nope, that ain't happening. Just, clearly. Yeah. The brake pedal said no.
The brake pedal said no. The tyres said no. And Ben Hackson, Jamie Rushworth, that's what I was oohing and ahhing about, Adam. Came to blows, but stayed as the status quo with Hackson just ahead of the former champion, of course.
Yeah, so Clayton Motorsport doing well then. Still with Ben Hackson up inside the top 10. Alex Everett trying to get past Simon Field into the oak tree. And in that incident as well, and down into turn 1, Matt Bunn was lucky not to go off himself. He was very wide, and that's what ended up in him losing the lead to Russell Laidler, who's trying to scamper away, heading down the back straight then, slipstreaming, working its magic once again here. Jamie Rushworth closing up to Ben Hackison as we head over the top of the hill and into this roller coaster section. Is he close enough to get anything done here on the second lap? I think he's just a bit too far away, but they definitely do close up to each other hard on the brakes. Any other change of position here? Everyone just really close, following each other through here on the second lap.
It was still a relatively well-behaved reverse grid start, really, even though there were a couple of bits of contact, a couple of spins. We have lost Andreas Katz somewhere as well there, which is a surprise. Lee Berridge, Jörg Dankert also out. Hefford is still running at the tail end of the field. He's patient catching up to the back of the pack again. But as we said with Savidovic in race 1, Adam, he may not get very far through said pack.
Yeah, Katz, I think, had a whole lot of damage from the first corner. I think he was up in the air at one point, and that probably explains why he's a lap down. But yeah, working their way through the field, it's definitely going to take some time, and you're not really going to gain many positions from it. You're going to have to try and hope that you stay either one lap down or on the lead lap, so you could possibly benefit from a full reverse grid. Laura Bond doing well in third position here. Was doing well when she was racing for New Homes Digital last season here. Nearly took a win, had a bit of a collision, I think, with Simon Field on the run to the line when they were both on their way to taking a win. I think Ade Coba Lopez ended up taking the win that time. But yeah, she's doing well up inside the podium. Got Simon Field for company there in fourth, then Alex Everett, and then Ben Hackison, who's still trying to fend off Jamie Rushworth.
Yeah, it's a good showing for the lady from the northeast of England as
Rushworth up the inside.
Into the oak tree, there goes Rushworth, and he can't quite get that done, Adam, as he's going to have to slot in front of, potentially in front of Balfour, although he still has a slight overlap on Ben Hackison. It's not going to be enough to get the position, although draws again level, and maybe the setup of that race hub with CQR machine, Adam, more beneficial for the straight line speed.
Looks like it, because he definitely had the straight line speed, and Sutton. And Rushworth off.
Collected it.
And no, they're both off. Hackison and Balfour.
Balfour there, possibly a little unsighted, but doesn't really excuse the fact that he ran into the car in front. And there was also a problem for an Alphalatech car in the middle of that as well. I think it may have been Shellback going very, very wide indeed.
Yeah, Michael Shellback, who was down in 16th place.
He's off again, actually.
He's off again, yeah, and under pressure from one of his teammates.
It's Chepelevsky, isn't it? The championship leader. Oh, and goodness me, Balfour. Balfour very nearly getting in amongst, he's getting in amongst the Alphalatech cars too. Alex, what did you make of that incident into the second half of the course?
Yeah, it just looked like he was focused too much on the battle ahead and trying to sort of pick up the pieces from them, and just missed his own braking marker. Just ran in there a little bit too hot, and yeah, poor, I think it was Hackison, was it, that he hit there? Just nothing he could do, and
he got Jamie a little bit as well.
Yeah, Rushworth was lucky to get away with it, to be honest. He just got ahead, otherwise he could have been involved in that as well.
Almost got quarter panel there, Adam, as the battle for the lead intensifies.
Yeah, we're now starting to get our own individual battle packs forming now. We've got the guys at the front, those two, and then we've got Simon Field, who's off, and Alex Everett's going to try and swoop around the outside as we head up towards the oak tree. Battle for the lead intensifying as well. Two big battles here for podium positions, and the race up with CQR cars are now approaching on the scene. Rushworth and Sutton.
This is really a track where you can literally end up in a field. There's so much grass. Simon doesn't want to end up there, but he does defend well from Alex Everett. who's also in front of Jamie Rushworth, Ashley Sutton, Colin Cunniff, Laura Bond. So Colin Cunniff,
Matt
Laura...
Bunn, sorry.
Yep.
Bunn having a great look. But yeah, just can't quite call it off. Pull it off, sorry. He did call it off.
Did call it off in the end. I was just going to say that Cunniff and Bond, Adam, the two cars that made the mistake earlier on, are now at the back of this pack, and it just shows that one little mistake here at Virginia, and that is all it takes to lose quite a few positions.
Yeah, no tarmac runoff areas here at all, really. And if you get onto that grass, you're almost certain to lose a whole load of positions. So across the line we go then, onto lap 5. Past the halfway distance, Russell Laidler's gap at the line was 0.2 of a second. And into the first corner they go. Are they all going to hit their braking points? I'm always sure that one of them's going to run a bit wide. Just looking at lap times there now, how are they falling off? Matt Bunn's personal best, 156.1, 157.2. Last time around. I don't know whether that's as a result of his battle with Russell Laidler, but yes, time starting to fall off just a little bit. Battle for third though. Look at all those cars.
Yeah, and that is Simon Field ahead of Everett, Rushworth, Sutton, Cunniff and Bond. It's about 2 seconds to Daniel Hunt, who's followed closely by Daniel Kraft and George Simmons. Richard Gore just behind them, and then our championship leader Stelin Chepelevsky. So it is closely fought in the midfield. Wojciech Savidovic up to 19th. Head of Dave Baker, actually, there.
Not quite sure why Wojciech's showing in a Eurochip car tonight, but is obviously in Sim Racer, so something weird must have gone on with the paint pack there.
We go on to the back straight then. Matt Bunn, let's see if we can get any closer to Russell Laidler this time around. If he's not too careful, he might be joined.
Oh!
Something's happening, Andrew.
Sorry, that was Mark Johnston going into the back of... I think that was Simpson, actually. Nothing came of it, really, but it just was a bit of a concertina effect, which backed up Savidovic into Baker.
Oh, Rushworth and Everett, and there is contact. Sutton's able to get out of the way and not run into the back of his racer with CQR teammate, but Alex Everett just tipped sideways there in the roller coaster section, and it sort of separated them from the back of Simon Fields. But here comes Matt Bunn then. Here we go on to lap 6. 3 laps to go now as we come across the line. Matt Bunn, is he going to look to the outside? Russell Laidler covers the outside line. You'd expect him to cover the inside, but here we go into turn 1. They're both going to hit their marks. Yes, they do. But that was a very close battle for the lead there.
It's a funny old one, isn't it? These first couple of corners, because it is almost like you do need to cover the outside, because nobody's really made an inside move yet.
Yeah, a bit of contact. Don't know who that was involving. It might have been Sutton and Everett. Sutton, incidentally, has got in front of Jamie Rushworth. But yeah, this battle for the lead. 1, 2, 3. Laidler, Bunn, and Simon Fields. But we were saying before the start of the second race, just before we went to commercial break, in fact, that Matt Bunn, second place, shows you the quality of this championship. He might not be at the front in race 1, but he's definitely doing a sterling effort in race 2.
There's a lot of drivers here, Alex, who are perfectly capable of winning a race given the opportunity, even if they may not qualify right at the front.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just looking at that pack right now, I think there's one of about 7 or 8, that could still get this one. It's not over with at all. Laidler coming under pressure again. Field looking very, very quick.
Cunniff has got alongside Everett.
Yeah, Sutton forced him wide into the oak tree and he lost a whole load of positions as a result. It was a forceful move by the BTCC driver, but here comes Matt Bunn over the top of the hill. This is as close as he's ever been. Who's going to have the line into the roller coaster section? Laidler's late on the brakes as well. But who's going to have the line? Bunn's going to go around the outside.
Bond. Oh.
And he's through. It's Bunn to the lead.
That's great from Bunn. Great overtake there. Full commitment to get round the
outside. He's gone. Too much commitment.
Curse of the commentator strikes right there with 2 laps to go.
Right now. As yeah, poor old Matt Bunn, Alex. What have you done to him?
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
So Laidler then. Anything but rusty in this Kia Optima. Into turn 1. And actually Ashley Sutton up the inside of Simon Field. And is he going to get that one done? I think he is. And he very nearly does in Russell Laidler there. Very, very close to the back of that Alfa Tech car, Adam.
Very close, yeah. 2 laps to go then. It is Alphalatech leading, Race Hub with CQR second, Simpson Racing third, and then Racer with CQR in fourth. Alex Everett leading the second pack round. Colin Cudness been able to negotiate his way through the chaos. Started second on the grid and lost a few positions, but he's now in 6th place. Here we go then, let's see what's happening for the battle for the lead. Simon Field trying to get past Russell Laidler. Ash Sutton trying to get past Russell Laidler, in fact, as we head through this section and up towards the oak tree. Laidler, I don't know if his tyres are starting to suffer. He's sliding all over the place here.
A bit wide. Can he cover? He covers the inside.
Sutton's going for it into the oak tree.
Don't think Sutton even is brave enough to try that move, as there's only 1.5 laps to go, Adam. It's getting exciting here at the front. Look at that train of cars coming down this back straight.
Well, we had all those cars in their own various battles, and now they're all coming together. This is something we see all the time in the BSR TC. Here we go then, down the back straight. Sutton in the tow, in the slipstream of his former teammate, Russell Laidler. We saw those two having a friendly battle race back to the pits in race 4 Indianapolis last week.
Laidler almost outbraked himself, but the veteran in the Alphalatech car is really making sure he's putting his car precisely where he needs to. And he was until he hopped the curb there, but it did actually keep him in front now. Alex, can he keep this lead over the start-finish line? Because Sutton's got great momentum. He's almost on the grass himself.
Trying to sneak.
And he's going to try that. Can he sneak up the inside? Will he outbrake Russell Laidler? Chances are he will. Very good on the brakes. And he pushes him off. And almost Jamie Rushworth almost into him.
Field straight through as well. He could see that one coming, and that's the thing. Ash is very, very good on the brakes, but he does brake late, and he will always run you out wide. And sometimes it's worth just sort of recognising that and trying to cut back underneath. And that would have just saved Laidler from dropping down to 3rd place there. But
they're not saving him from dropping down to 4th though, mate. Now.
Yeah, Rushworth looking very, very quick as well. Who will get this? Field won't give up on this race win, I can tell you that though.
Well, Sutton, he was leading all of the laps in race 1 apart from the final one, where he had a problem with his loading cell and ended up going wide in that first corner. But now he's back to the lead here. But will he be able to hold on? Will Simon Field be able to challenge him? Will Rushworth be able to get past Laidler? We're all going to find out in the last half a lap or so. Up to the oak tree. Rushworth looking up the inside. Is he brave enough to have a move there? No, not close enough. And it's going to have to be a slipstream move down the back straight.
Ash looks like he's timed this perfectly, Adam. Just to when he's just got enough tyres left that he can actually pull out a gap once he's there, and he makes himself immune to that slipstream that's so powerful here at Virginia International Raceway. However, someone who isn't immune to an attack is Simon Field, and Russell Laidler up the inside. Field may lose a position. There's a bit of contact there. Rushworth is trying to usurp the pair of them on the final lap, and he's not going to do it. And it's going to be Ashley Sutton, Adam, surely. No.
Bit of contact between Laidler and Rushworth, but yeah, you're right, Andrew. Off the final corner and up towards the checkered flag. Who's going to get second? It's going to be close, but either way, Ash Sutton's going to come through
it's
and
going to be
take
very
round
close.
37. Over the line they go. Who was it in the end? It was Jamie Rushworth. It was Laidler ahead of Rushworth by just a few hundredths. And yeah, race 37 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship does go to Ash Sutton.
They're still going for 33rd and 34th, Kip Stevens and Steve Hefford. Teammates, of course, for Sim Racer.
Who was that? Someone just ran wide on the final lap as well. Lost himself a couple of places. I think it might have been Nathan. Yeah, it was Nathan Davis. But yeah, Hefford and Kip Stevens here. They come across the start-finish line. This one's going to be close as well with the slipstream. Who's going to get that? I think
they don't want to finish, do they?
Oh dear.
It was Hefford in the end by 100th, ahead of Stevens.
Then Van Gulrich and Atkinson. And was Dave Baker finished in
30, way down there.
Place.
Problems for Baker that we didn't know about.
Doesn't look to have any damage, so I wonder if he had a penalty or something.
His lap times were slow. 2:21 on lap 5, 2:05, and then 2:01, 2:04. So I wonder if he was nursing a problem.
Just going to have a quick look here. Have a look back and see if I can see what happened to David Baker.
Yeah, something might have happened on lap 5, but yeah, Ash Sutton, so much for this track being very tough to overtake on and being narrow. He went from 15th to 1st. Some pretty good moves along the way. And he takes the win in race 2, which he so nearly won in race 1. And we'll have a look at the tyre life, actually. Ash Sutton, of course, winner of the race. Personal best 155. He was doing his slowest was a 157.2. Lap times fell off by just over a second during the second race. What happened to? Have you found out what happened to David Baker, Andrew?
Yeah, he was hit by his teammate Michael Hall.
Ooh.
In a strange incident, Alex. I don't know if you can see this on lap 5 at all.
So where's David Baker? Actually, I'll have a look as well.
I can find it.
I don't know if Hall just missed. I don't really know what Hall was doing, to be honest. But
This one.
Right, lap 5. He's got his teammate Michael Hall behind him at the start of the lap.
it's just into the last few corners after the main straight, the long straight.
Yeah, just watching it now on screen. Oh, look.
Strange incident, that. Or just losing control, or outbraking himself, or I'm not really sure what that was, but.
Oh yeah, God, and it absolutely smashed him as
Oh,
well. So
yeah.
It's a big time mistake.
But that's what happened today. That's why Baker finished in 38th place.
And now it came from and Hall came from a very long way back.
Yep.
Oh well, so another problem for David Baker. Just when it looked like he was getting a bit of form together. Hopefully, he did finish on the lead lap. So if we do get a full reverse grid, he will be put onto pole position, and I'm sure he'll like nothing more. But let's run you through the finishing order. Ash Sutton takes the win then, 15th to 1st. Russell Laidler, his former teammate, finished in 2nd in the end. A good feisty move there by Sutton up the inside with just a few laps to go. Jamie Rushworth, he followed Sutton through the field, 10th to 3rd. Podium race, double podium then for race up with CQR. Simon Field 4th, Alex Everett in 5th, Colin Cunniff 6th, Laura Bond 7th, Matt Bunn, the pole sitter, in 8th, however he was running 2nd for the majority of the race. Dan Craft in 9th, George Simmons in 10th. Stane Chapelevsky finished 11th, Dan Hunt 12th, Richard Gore 13th, Rich Ross Balfour 14th, Michael Shellback 15th, Wojciech Savidovic up to 16th. He's still having to fight his way back through the pack after picking up that penalty in qualifying. Jamie Fluke 17th, Roy Ververke 18th, Paul Smith 19th, and Alex Smolensky 20th. Michael Hall finished in 21st, 22nd Andrew Whitehead, Pete Newman 23rd, 24th for Jack McIntyre, Jerome Kaiser 25th, 26th was Robert Graham, 27th Liam Atkins, 28th Jay Wright, 29th Diego Melro, and Julian Janowski in 30th. 31st was Nathan Davis, just making that small mistake in the final corner of the lap. 32nd Nick McCarron, 33rd Steve Hefford, just finishing ahead of Kip Stevens. It looked like they both staged the break off to find out who would come out in front. 35th was Peter Van Gaal, 36th Steve Richardson, 37th Stuart Atkinson, 38th David Baker, and the last car on the lead lap. And Nathaniel Simpson 3 laps down along with Mark Johnston. Craig Evans also 3 laps down. Ben Hackerson 4 laps down, so was Jörg Dankert, and then 7 laps down Cesario Rizzo. Andreas Katz, problem at the start for him, he finished 8 laps down, and the same for Lee Berridge, who finished in 46th. And then time for the reverse grid, the second one of the night, to decide the grid for the third race of the evening, round 38 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Let's have a look at the cars that are eligible, 16 down to 25, and they are as follows. Wojciech Savidovic, big name there, Jamie Fluke, Roy Ververke, Paul Smith, Alex Smolensky, Michael Hall, Andrew Whitehead, Pete Newman, Jack McIntyre, Jerome Kaiser, and if we have a full, he'll put David Baker in 38th onto pole position. So over to you, Alex. Let's spin the wheel.
Here we go then, we'll just continue where we left off before, so 22nd. Oh, where's this going to end up? I wonder if it matters how hard you click it. Surely it mustn't. Oh, this is going to be close! We got it!
We got
full reverse grid.
38 cars reversed, and David Baker is going to be on pole position for this third race of the evening. Stuart Atkinson 2nd, Steve Richardson 3rd, Peter Van Gaal 4th, and Kip Stevens in 5th.
Tell you what, if Baker's got a good chance to win a race, he's not going to have a better one than this. Full reverse grid, and, potentially, nobody really who can challenge him. However, not sure about that, and so I think it's going to be a cracking one. 38 cars reversed, should be fun. Right, chaps, it's been a lot of fun tonight. I'll leave you two for the last 2 races of the evening. join us again after the break. There is going to be more. There's going to be 38 cars reversed when we return to the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
I'm a engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. We're here at the Virginia International Raceway once again for round 38 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here. Adam Bath along with Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver. Andrew Woodhouse is done for the night. We'll see him though hopefully at the next race meeting. And Alex, good first 2 races, however of course this is the big one. We've got 38 cars reversed for this 3rd race.
Yeah, excellent first couple of races, and yeah, like you say, full reverse grid. What more could we want? The fast guys trying to work their way through. Going to be interesting. Probably the narrowest track of the entire schedule as well for them to try and do that. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how they do it. Definitely an opportunity for some other drivers to get some really big points for their team in this race. Dave Baker, of course, had these issues in that last race. Finds himself towards the front, well, towards the front, on the very front. So definitely a great opportunity for him to bounce back after that race and score a whole load of points.
It's clouded over a bit here in Virginia. The air temperature's gone down to 20 degrees, track temperature 28, so it's not as severe as it was in the 2nd race. Tyre life should just be that little bit easier.
Yep, just a reminder to everybody as well, these drivers are out here racing in the MSA BSR Pro Series. They're racing for a prize pool that could be anywhere up to $20,000 at the end of the season. A minimum of 10 is guaranteed. So huge prize money up for grabs in various different championships. We've got the Pro Championships, we've got the AM Championship on the driver's side, and then the same again with the Pro and the Pro-Am in the Teams Championship. We've also got the Safest Driver Award that goes out as well. And I think it's something like $500 for just winning that. It's something crazy, isn't it?
Something crazy like that. We'll get the awards up in just a second. But yeah, prizes for almost any different class in the BSR TC Pro Series this year. And yeah, up to $20,000. You want to get a piece of the action, of course. We'll shortly describe about the service that is iRacing. But yeah, a lot of prizes on offer here in the BSR TC. $20,000 this season, going all out, and of course the MSA sponsorship.
Yeah, and let's not also forget to thank iRacing for sponsoring it as well. But you want to know about the series specifically, head on over to BritishSimRacers.com. You can find out everything about there, and we'll tell you about iRacing in a mo.
Right then, David Baker on pole position. We'll run you through the grid shortly, but I probably would say this is his best opportunity to get a race win, where it looked like it was going to be another write-off of a race meeting, but he's getting that reverse grid, gets him onto the front row of the grid.
Yeah, he just needs to do everything that he possibly can on those opening laps, just to make sure he doesn't make any silly mistakes and get punted or pushed back. So it's not always well, it's easier said than done. So yeah, I think the opening sort of first 2-3 sectors is going to be important for him. Look at who he's around. He's definitely got the pace advantage on them, so he needs to try and break away before that back straight, so that they can't use the slipstream to catch him back up. If he can do that, then he's got a good chance.
Baker lies currently 17th in the Drivers' Championship. He really needs to get his championship into gear now in time for the showdown. Of course, we've just got under 100 races to go in this 131 race championship. Well, the cars are now heading down to the grid, and this is the service that is iRacing.com. This is what everyone's racing on, and yeah, this is the BSR TC, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Alex, tell everyone about how you can get involved in the service that is iRacing.
Yeah, head yourself over to iRacing.com. From there you can sign up. You can use the promotional code that's on the bottom of this YouTube video, which is PR-BSRTC. That will give you 3 months for the price of one. Get yourself started in in the NAS cars, the street stocks, or the MX-5 rookie cars, depending on what your flavour is. All you need is a simple PC and a wheel and pedal set, and you can be up and running in no time.
And yeah, as Alex was saying just a few moments ago, head over to BritishSimRacers.com for all the latest on this championship. Of course, up to $20,000, the largest prize fund for a private league on iRacing. We're about to have another thrilling race begin. David Baker on the front row of the grid. Stu Atkinson for Eclectic Motorsport in second place on the grid. Here we go then. Race 39 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway. Baker gets away reasonably well. Atkinson trying to slot into second, but the Spice Heart car is there in third of Steve Richardson. He's going to try and get it up the inside into the first corner. Atkinson's going to go around the outside. Baker, is he going to make the first corner? He's sliding it. And as Atkinson's off, and there's Crash at the back. We've got a mainland racing car around. That's Jörg Dankert. We've got Cesare Rizzo off as well.
Sutton around as well, straight into the tyre wall. So no dramatic drive-through for him from the very back. So big problems, massive damage too. Oh, there's a little bit of bumper bashing as well. A bit further back, someone else around an eclectic car again. They're really struggling in these slightly cooler conditions this time.
With Ben Hackison, yeah, so another Eclectic Motorsport car in strife here on the first lap. Heading now through the fast section, for the first time. Steve Richardson looks like he's dropped a few positions. It's David Baker leading, Kip Stevens second, Nathan Davis third, Steve Richardson now in fourth, fifth Steve Hefford, it is Julian Janowski in sixth, and Jay Wright, Nick McCarron, then Rob Graham looking at the inside there, ninth, and then Diego Melro in 10th.
Yeah, problem for Davis getting himself all out of shape through that tricky left-hander before Oak Tree. We've seen that. Problems out there for Alex Everett, Colin Cunniff and Daniel Hunt. They all seem to be back into pit lane right now, getting a tow. So, yeah, some issues for them. And the front three really separating apart quickly. We kind of expected this, but it may all come back. Richardson on Hefford. For a moment was very, very close, but Hefford just pulling away down that back straight. Yeah. Oh, good battle just behind as well. That's Jay Wright and Rob Graham. They're going at it side by side. It looks like Jay Wright's going to come out just ahead, gets into the last corner first there.
Oh, Graham goes wide and is off, but he's back on just in time before the grass starts. Otherwise, he definitely will have lost a whole load of positions. But Nick McCarron getting a push here from Diego Melro in the mainland racing car. Coming across the line, free wide here. Let's see if this is going to end well. And fortunately, just for Jack McIntyre, he's able to hold on to the car, but he's going to lose a position to Melro with Newman now coming up the inside. And this is only the end of the first lap. A lot of action covered here already on lap 1. McIntyre just up the inside, so he's just able to hold off Pete Newman in the Simpson racing car for now. Jerome Kaiser there in the Engine All Direct car. Nick McCarron coming under pressure from Rob Graham and contact with Diego Melro.
The other way around, actually. I mean, mistake from Rob, let Nick in, and since then he hasn't been able to settle back down and into a rhythm. Everybody just keeps tagging him here, there and everywhere, and he's being bumped around right now is Rob, but just about tried to find some space, turns in, just cuts off Kaiser's nose there, just needs to settle in and just try and build up a rhythm, because he seems to be struggling out there right now. Yeah,
he's just trying to hold on at the moment. Swinging a car in there, Apex racing car there, trying to get past a Simpson racing car. It's Jamie Fluke trying to get past Pete Newman in towards the Oak Tree. Then he's got Paul Smith behind him up the inside there. Jamie Rushworth trying to get past one of his former team colleagues, Alex Smolenski. But Smolenski is just able to hold on the exit of the Oak Tree. We've got a car way off there on the infield to our right. There's an Automet car. Oh no, there's cars going into the old pit lane. We've got Andreas Katz involved there, and we've got Russell Laidler. The two got stuck together, I think, Alex, and they decided to visit a piece of history here on this old Virginia circuit.
Yeah, let's take a little look at that back and see exactly what happened, because it sounds interesting. We missed it on the actual broadcast. Here we go, let's see where they are. You're right, there was people going off everywhere before that as well, so we just saw one in the background as well as the one shooting off into the middle. Can't rejoin over to the right, so they have to come back onto the track before Oak Tree. And one of the Automet cars gets out of shape, so the Alfa Tech and the Eurochip digital car get together. Fortunately, they missed themselves.
I think we need to carry on with this, Andrew, because they're on their way to another mighty incident at the top of the hill.
Here we go then.
They're on their way down the back straight, and the car behind them, Peter Van Gool, is going to miss his braking by a ton and smash into the... But at the same time, I think they were in the process of taking them both out, and I think Peter Van Gool just helps them on their way.
Oh, God.
So that happens at the top of the hill.
But back live then, we're just looking at McIntyre and Rob Graham again. Rob definitely seems to be the cork at the moment, just trying to keep everybody tucked up behind. But yeah, any minute now, I think that he's going to perhaps concede this position to McIntyre. McIntyre definitely looks like he's got the pace over him right now. The front 5 or 6 really separating apart. Steve Hefford trying to close in on Nathan Davis as well. See if he can get that third place.
Looks like we've missed nothing major yet. The top 10 is relatively the same. Nick McCarron coming under pressure for Melrose in the slipstream. And towards the roller coaster section. We already saw One Mainland Racing ends up going out of the race. Van Gaal is out of the race, by the way, after that crash at the top of the hill. And McCarron still having to withstand the pressure. So is Graham. In this train, we've got Graham, McIntyre, we've got Michael Hall for Race Up CQR, Jerome Kaiser, we've got Pete Newman, Jamie Fluke, who won here in the Kia Cup last night, Paul Smith, Alex Smolensky, Wojciech Savidovic as well in 16th after starting in 23rd. And he could be about to get a position. So is Jamie Fluke. Fluke looking all over the back of Pete Newman into the first corner. Is he going to go to the outside? He is. Is he going to make the corner though? He does.
Yeah, that's brilliant. He's going to have the inside for the left-hander here as well. We'll give him the advantage. It's just a little kink to the left first. But yeah, not such an easy corner in these Kia Optimas, and then that sort of more 90-degree left-hander before we reach this very, very slow section. The left and the right high curbs can unsettle the car. But yeah, Fluke is through and closing on the back of Kaiser already.
Good move around the outside into turn one, late on the brakes. Graham's under pressure. Here comes McIntyre. That's not the first time we said that tonight. McIntyre getting very close to the back of that Automech car through the fast section here. Look how committed these drivers are. And Graham a bit too committed. He's lost the car, control of the car just a little bit sideways. McIntyre has to take an unconventional line round the outside there into the left-hander, and now we're up towards the hairpin, the oak tree corner, and now we're going to set ourselves on our way down the back straight. Look at all these cars. We've probably got about a dozen or so cars here in a line. Savidovic now trying to get past Alex Smolensky. That's one of the close battles in this pack. He's getting close underneath the slipstream there. Two sim racer cars going at it, but just as I say that, Graham and McIntyre are back at it as we head up towards the roller coaster section. McIntyre is brakes later.
Oh, just about keeps the car under control. He almost lost the rear there, but he is up and through past Rob Graham now and into 8th place it is. So yeah, Graham just needs to carry on doing his thing out there. He's been he's losing the car in places, but he's also been very tricky to overtake. So he can do that here. He might be able to hold on to a top 10. Michael Hall is behind him right now. Let's see what Michael does. Is he going to defend the inside? Rob does. As almost a bit of a late move. Hall has to try and go around the outside. He can't quite make that stick. And Rob Graham goes, no, I've got the line, thank you very much. Just have a little bit of extra runoff there, and Hall comes under pressure from Fluke as well after that. Fluke round the outside. He has to be careful. He's only just got past Jeroen Kaiser. Won't want to give that place up very, very quickly. Kaiser has a look into the left-hander. Nothing going there. They switch back to the right, and they're back into single file through the snake section.
Oh. So 2 positions gained for Jamie Fluke, 2 positions in 2 laps. He's definitely working his way forward. At the same time, we've got a great battle going on for second. Davis and Hefford, they were side by side at the start of the lap whilst we were looking at that battle with Jamie Fluke. But now they are right at it in the battle for 3rd and 4th. And in recent, just a few corners ago, Hefford's able to get past Davis. Davis was 3rd when we got past the line. But now it is Steve Hefford who's holding that final position on the podium. But Davis will get the slipstream down the back straight. We'll see if he's able to wrestle this position back.
Yeah, my gut feeling is he has to do it now, this lap, this straight, if he's going to try and hold on to this. I think Hefford's got the pace. He will pull away. He needs a late move. Doesn't happen this time, and compromised entry into the corner as well. That'll just slow his exit up, and I think that's going to be Hefford away unless Hefford makes a mistake in this final sector.
Same time battle going on for best of the rest here. We've got Jay Wright and Diego Melrose. Crash.
Sorry guys, Rob Graham again. Michael Hall side by side through the roller coaster section, and Rob Graham gives Hall just a little bump, and that checks up Jamie Fluke behind him, and Kaiser sideways. The 3 wide coming onto the straight. That's Pete Newman, Kaiser and Paul Smith. Great little battle going on there.
Smolensky swooping around the outside, so Savidovic there forging their way through. At the same time, Jamie Fluke trying to get past Rob Graham into turn 1. He's already gained 2 positions in 2 laps. Is he going to try and make it 3 in 3? Around the outside, Smolensky trying to get past Pete Newman here at the start of lap 6. When we get to line, there'll be 2 laps to go. Of course, Savidovic there in another high up another position there, getting a few positions out of that contact down at the final corner. Rob Graham, though, still doing a sting job to hold on to a top 10 position. But Jamie Fluke's desperate to try and get past him now. Let's see if he can do it before the oak tree bend, and if not, there on the exit before the roller coaster section.
Yeah, I know where the loyalty should lie on this one, but I'm always a fan of the underdog, so want to see Graham hold on to this one if he can. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Fluke up the inside. He's going to nerf him a little wide. No, he doesn't. He's straight through. Great driving. Rob gets checked up a little bit. He's going to have to defend the inside of the oak tree now. That's Pete Newman trying to work his way around the outside. Not easy place to do that. Got a great exit as well and a little shove from Smolenski. Give him a little bit of extra drive off of that corner. Rob Graham's going to have his hands full here. I think maybe a driver having a look on the left and the right by the time we reach the end of this straight.
Savidovic is approaching these 2, isn't he? As look at them. Oh no, Newman's on the grass and somehow he holds on. I thought he was on his way to an almighty shunt there. He's able to wrestle back control of the car and is able to maintain his position, but I thought that was nearly curtains there for the Simpson Racing driver. Smolenski still behind. Savidovic there as well. Dan Kraft gives him a bit of a nudge that allows Jerome Kaiser to close in under the brakes. This is a brilliant battle here for positions inside and outside the top 10. And now we're going on to lap 7, the penultimate lap. Pete Newman, though, very close to losing
2 laps to go. Kaiser and Paul Smith exchanging positions on the straight as well. Smith got a much better run. He's clear through by the time they even reach the braking zone into turn 1. Late braking there. Oh, who's that? That's Jamie Fluke off. What happened to Fluke?
Oh no, Jamie Fluke has lost those positions and he was in 10th. Let's have a look at what happened to the Apex Racing driver. Blimey, it's Rob Graham going into the back of him, Alex. Now, I don't think there was anything wrong in the move that he did before the oak tree corner, but I can't tell whether this is Robert Graham losing his braking or a bit of payback.
I think he just missed his braking there, and poor Jamie got the brunt of it, so used him for a bit of braking there in the end, so not the greatest, and I'm sure Jamie will be very, very angry in the cockpit right now.
Yeah, 10th, and now he's behind.
Oh, Graham's falling down as well.
Newman's off as well. Pete Newman's off. So
he's on the inside. That's why all of a sudden they almost collect each other once again. Richard Gore having a look on him now as well. So yeah, it's all gone wrong for Rob Graham with just 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Gore up the inside. It was a bit of contact with Pete Newman. They were side by side through the quick left section. Newman went on his way into the Armco barrier, flips over. It's been able to carry on though.
McIntyre and Wright, just having a little look. McIntyre up the inside, going into the roller coaster section. That's 6th place for him now, so good move there. Just use that slipstream to full effect. He's got half a second up the road to Diego B. Melrose, so perhaps he can work his way into 5th place. Let's just take stock though as the leader crosses the start-finish line. Dave Baker, some 6.2 seconds clear. He's had a great race. We said that he had a good opportunity if he cleared that first lap. Did exactly that. He's just pulled away from Kip Stevens, who is in 2nd place. Also 6.2 seconds ahead of Steve Hefford in 3rd, who does have Nathan Davis for a little bit of company. So the podium's not done and dusted yet.
And here comes Davis up the inside then. Final lap of the race. Is he going to go up the inside of Hefford into left-hander? He does. And he's through. A bit forceful, mind, but Nathan Davis, is now through into 3rd position. The final spot on the podium for now. Let's see if Steve Hefford can respond. He's all over the place. He's nearly in the wall. But Nathan Davis is now going to pull away as a result of this. And Davis now into 3rd.
That was close, so close to being a race over there. You can get sucked into those tyre walls. Fortunately, just got a glancing blow. You can see the damage on the right-hand side. So, it's going to be. I think Hefford's just going to try and hold on and settle for that place. But I'm going to switch over to Baker. He's not had much airtime. So, here he is down that back straight for the final time. Just got the roller coaster section to navigate, and he'll be bringing this home. He wasn't happy with us almost cursing him at the start of the race when it was the reverse grid, but he managed to hold on.
Got a 5th place in race 1 and then had an awful race 2 Had a bit of contact with his teammate Michael Hall in the roller coaster section, but he got reversed onto pole for race 3, and now he's going to come out the final corner. And race 38 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship does go to David Baker. Second, a long way back. Not often you see this in a BSR TC race, is Kip Stevens. Who's going to get third? It is just going to be Nathan Davis, I think. And it will be, yeah, he comes across the line and gets a podium. Fourth for Steve Hefford. Fifth will be Diego Melro, just finishing ahead of Jan McIntyre. Jay Wright then coming across the line in 7th. Nick McCarron got 8th. Michael Hall 9th. Savidovic got 10th in the end. Ahead of Smolensky. Dan Kraft and the rest of them coming across the line now.
Good battle between Craig, Lloyd Evans and Hackerson as well. These are all just coming across the line right now. The Cat's involved in that too. Just seeing if there's any other battles. Liam Atkinson, Lee Berridge, 0.3 of a second as they cross the start-finish line. But yeah, that is about it for the battles.
Great third race, Alex. 38 cars reversed, and yeah, we saw a massive battle just for those positions outside the top 10, and towards the end of the race, a battle for those final positions on the podium.
Yeah, that's just what we wanted to see, really. Those, Hefford and Davis having a little go at it together, and yeah, Davis took that opportunity well. There was a little gap, there was a little opening there, and Hefford made that mistake going into the into that left-hander, and yeah, Davis straight up the inside there. Like you say, a bit forceful, but it needed to be done. It was fair, and yeah, moved himself up and held on to it. Great drive from him.
Of course, we've got one more race to go after this, and another reverse grid that'll be coming up shortly. So stay with us. Let's have a look at the finishing order then. David Baker then takes the victory, lights the flag for the Season 7 champion. Kip Stevens finished in 2nd for Sim Racer. Nathan Davis 3rd, Steve Hefford 4th, Diego Melro in 5th. 6th, Jack McIntyre, 7th, Jay Wright, 8th, Nick McCarron, 9th for Michael Hall, Wojciech Savidovic in 10th from 23rd on the grid. 11th, Alex Smolensky, 12th, Dan Kraft, 13th for Paul Smith, 14th, Jerome Kaiser. Steny Shepelevsky finished in 15th, Michael Schalbach 16th, Ross Balfour finished in 17th in the end, Jamie Fluke 18th after being as high as 10th at one point, Roy Verke in 19th, and Richard Gore 20th, George Simmons 21st, Ben Hackerson 22nd, 23rd was Craig Evans, Andreas Katz 24th from 45th, I can commend his effort there, Matt Bunn 25th, 26th was Laura Bond, 27th Nathaniel Simpson, 28th Lee Berridge, Liam Atkins 29th, Russell Layla finished in 30th, 31st was Simon Fields, 31st was Julian Janowski, 32nd Simon Fields, 33rd Jörg Dankert, 34th Stuart Atkinson, 35th Pete Newman, and then the car's 2 laps down, not scoring any points of course as a result. Rob Graham 2 laps down in the end. Cesare Rizzo, same for him, 2 laps down, 37th. Jamie Rushworth, 5 laps down, same for Alex Everett, 39th. Steve Richardson, 6 laps down. Andrew Whitehead, 7 laps down in 41st. Same for Peter Van Gaal and Mark Johnston. And Ash Sutton, and 8 laps down, problems at the start for Dan Hunt and Colin Cunniff. Well then, time to fire up the Wheel of Fortune for the final time tonight. 16 down to 25, plus 2 falls. We've already had a fall tonight. Let's see if we could have one possibly in the final race of the evening, round 39 of the championship. The cars that are eligible are as follows: Michael Schelbach, Ross Balfour, Jamie Fluke, Roy Verke, Richard Gore, George Simmons, Ben Hackerson, Craig Evans, Andreas Katz, Matt Bunn, or if we have a fall, Pete Newman will be reversed onto pole position. So Alex, it's time to do the Wheel of Fortune one last time tonight.
Yeah, here we go then. Who will get it? Oh, it's going to be close. I think we're going to... Oh! We've got another one!
We've got another full. 2 full reverse grids tonight. I don't think we've ever had that in the VSR TC. And that will put Pete Newman onto pole position. Stuart Atkinson 2nd, Jörg Dankert 3rd. Another Simpson Racing car up at the front. We've got Simon Field in 4th. And then we've got Julian Janowski for Alphalatech in 5th. Full reverse grid again, and that means we've got another, and if usually race 4 is the most exciting, we've got a full reverse grid to go with it. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Right, we're going to step aside for just a few moments then here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. another full reverse grid. We've definitely got another brilliant race on our hands. Round 39 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship will be coming up after the break.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple of fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Eric Hudek. I'm a engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. This is round 39 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, back here at Virginia International Raceway for the final race of the evening. Another full reverse grid, Alex. 38 cars reversed, and at the front of the grid is Pete Newman.
Yeah, old Pete should have a good chance of a good result here. I don't want to curse him, but yeah, again, if he gets through those first few sectors, then he stands a really good opportunity. So very quick driver is Pete. Seen him around for a while now, and yeah, apologies for calling you old Pete. You can have a moan at me later, but yeah, it'll be great to see him up front. We haven't seen him win a race for a little while, actually.
Yeah, hasn't won a race this season. He's got two podiums to his name, 6 top 10s and 21 top 20s. He's at the front of the grid. Stuart Atkinson alongside him for Eclectic Motorsport. Let's see if he can do a better job of this race, because he didn't have a good start to race 3 at all. Jörg Danke at 3rd, Summerfield 4th, Julian Janowski 5th, Russell Lader 6th, Liam Atkins 7th, Lee Berridge 8th, Nathaniel Simpson 9th, and Laura Bond in 10th. And we are green now. And Newman gets the best start off the line I've seen all night, and it's a fantastic start. And here comes his Simpson Racing teammate, Simon Field, up to 2nd straight away as we head into turn 1. Alphalatech in 3rd with Russell Lader, then it's Janowski. Stuart Atkinson's lost a ton of ground at the start. There's a car sideways, one of the old Eurochip digital cars, and it's over. Is it Andreas Katz? I don't know if it is. It might be.
It is Katz, yeah. You can see Katz falling down the timing screen. Newman gets very out of shape. Oh, and it gets a slowdown penalty. There's a load of people making mistakes. And, what's going on right now through that left-hander? This is obviously the evening conditions out there. Look at the marbles on the edge of the circuit as well. They'll take a little while to clear up. But, yeah, it's all of the... that sun dropping, the track temperatures dipped, and all of a sudden those rear tyres that are so sensitive to heat and pressure, and this is front wheel drive Kias, they're giving the drivers big crash. Who was that? I think that's Chepalevsky involved in it for the Alphalatech car. He's stationary, but that was a massive one.
Got a friction racing car involved as well. And I've got to hear more contacts as they go by. I think someone's blown an engine. And it's Nathan Davis going off. But we had a friction racing car. I think it was Dan Kraft involved. Yeah, so we'll have a look at all the cars that are involved when they get back to the line. Ash Sutton has got a really damaged car. Automech car involved. Roy Ververke. Quite a whole load of cars going back to the pits. And Andreas Katz's comeback race meeting in the BSRTC hasn't gone according to plan. So into the roller coaster section, and for the first time, Simon Field is now leading. Started 4th on the grid, so a pretty good first lap from him. Russell Laidler 2nd, Janowski 3rd, Lee Berridge 4th, 5th Stuart Atkinson, 6th is Pete Newman, and the pole sitter, 7th Matt Bunn, 8th Ben Hackison, 9th George Simmons, and 10th it is Richard Gore as they come across the line.
Yeah, wherever you seem to look towards the front recently, an Alphalatech car is there. Laidler again having a got that good reverse grid earlier on, did really well, and yeah, this reverse grid again has helped him no end. He was probably cursing it the race before, but yeah, all of a sudden he's friendly with it again because he's back towards the front. Field looking good. Pete Newman back up to 5th place. He'll, now that his tyres are all sorted themselves out, I'm sure he'll try and get on the back of and by Lee Berridge as quickly as possible and see if he can join his teammate up towards the front.
We saw two Alphalatech cars on the podium in race 2, was it? And now we're seeing them at it again. We've got Russell Laidler and Janowski 2nd and 3rd. So Alphalatech definitely proving why they are top of the team's championship and going for that big prize money. Pete Newman, and as Alex was saying, trying to get past Lee Berridge in that engine all direct car, trying to get some of those positions back that he lost on that opening lap in towards the oak tree on lap 2. Just behind them we've got side by side George Simmons versus Richard Gore. Sorry, it's Richard Gore versus Ross Balfour, and they've gone wide, and this is going to allow Jamie Fluke to try and get past both of them, and he does get past both of them down the straight. What's happening there between Berridge and Newman? They aren't too close yet, but Berridge has Newman's completely got by him out of the oak tree, and as Newman through.
Yeah, Laidler just 0.4 of a second back from Simon Field. Janowski's losing a little bit of ground to him. Lap time last time was quite a bit slower as well, some 0.6 of a second. So see what they do as they cross the start-finish line this time by. And yeah, it was 201 point. Sorry, no, it wasn't. My mistake. It was a 152.7 and a 153.2 for Janowski. So yeah, just still dropping. Oh, he's not dropping back. He's closing half a second there. Maths not my. No, he's dropped back half a second. Jeez, my maths is not good today. It's the end of the night, final race. What's going on? I haven't been drinking, I swear.
No alcohol in the Apex Racing TV commentary box, I do assure you. We'll have a look at the cars just quickly, a lap or more down. Nathan Davis, blown engine, I think he's out. Dan Kraft, 1 lap down, he was involved in that big crash at the start with Chepalevsky. Roy Ververke, a lap down. Andreas Katz is out as well, flipping over at the start. And Liam Atkins is in the pit lane as well. So those are the cars that have suffered in the early stages. Simon Field, yes, just maybe pulling out a bit of an advantage over second place man Russell Laidler, who slides it through that left-hander. But this battle, actually, the battle for 6th place is definitely heating up. We've got Stuart Atkinson here, we've got Matt Bunn, we've got Ben Hackerson, George Simmons, 3 eclectic motorsport cars here, all inside the top 10. And we've got Jamie Fluke, who got a very good run out of that Oak Tree corner, and now we're going to see him in the slipstream and try and take what is 9th place away from George Simmons.
Yeah, and Shellback also on his teammate and already alongside. Shellback again in that Alpha Tech car moves to the inside, as comes Fluke as well on Simmons. Oh, he's late on the brakes, squirms a little bit under there. Shellback safely through, and actually
I could take 2 here, Jamie Fluke.
Oh, he does. A fantastic move straight around the outside and then up the inside of Hackerson as well. I think Hackerson just didn't know where he come from. Runs a little bit wide, does Fluke, but just about manages to keep it on the black stuff. And yeah, he should get a good run down and onto the back of Matt Bunn now.
2 positions in a lap, and they're both eclectic motorsport cars there. So Jamie Fluke up to 8th. Was 10th at the start of the lap into turn 1. Matt Bunn trying to get past Stuart Atkinson. Oh, and Shellback trying to get past Simmons into turn 1, side by side behind them. We've got Richard Gore and Ross Balfour going at it here through the long left-hander. Richard Gore should hold on to this. He has got the inside line after all. Balfour will try and go around the outside, and he does. And in front of them, we've got, who's that? Shellback up the inside. He's not able to get through, but 2 by 2 through this slow section. It's very narrow here, of course, as is all of this Virginia International Raceway. Gore getting forced out wide. Be careful, you don't want to end up with that tyre barrier. Whoa!
Oh, that was so close to what we've seen time and time again. Somehow they managed to survive that. Gore and Kaiser there.
And Ash Sutton getting in the mix here. Actually, no, sorry, Michael Hall in that racer with CQR car. And meanwhile, Stuart Atkinson continues to lead this pack round. Matt Bunn. Jamie Fluke. Will Fluke be able to gain any more positions? Matt Bunn looks up the inside there into the Oak Tree corner. No way through. Just running through the top 10 quickly. I hear a bit of contact, but I don't know where it's from. Everyone's carrying on. Running through the top 10 quickly. Summerfield leads Russell Laidler, Janowski, Pete Newman, then it's Lee Berridge. But here we go, side by side. Whilst we were doing that, here comes Jamie Fluke to get past Matt Bunn. And he might try and get past the other eclectic motorsport car as well. And I think he might be going for it here over the top of the hill. Oh, contact, and he's off. Is he going to T-burn anyone? No, he doesn't. He surely will pick up a slowdown for that, though, Alex.
Well, you would think so, but he's not slowing down for anyone. So I don't know quite how that's worked out, but yeah, somehow he didn't get that penalty. So hey, if you don't get told to slow down, then you carry on, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's really probably best. Either that or he picked up a very quick one that he was able to serve. But look at this, eclectic motorsports cars going at it. Be careful, guys. 3 teammates going off we do not want. And now he's going to go around the outside of Matt Bunn is George Simmons, and he's just going to keep it on.
Shellback come diving in there as well on Atkinson. So Atkinson lost a whole bunch of places through turn 1 because he just got hung out wide there and couldn't get back across. Everybody just shot up the inside. He's now got Kaiser and Gore breathing down his neck. Gore having a look on Kaiser. Kaiser just more defending than actually having a look on Atkinson there as well.
Jamie Fluke's away, and Jamie Fluke's in 6th, leaving Matt Bunn to try and fend off George Simmons. in towards the left-hander. Bunn tried to cover the inside, but 2x2 through there is going to be brave, and George Simmons gets out of it. Shellback trying to get onto the back of Hackerson, lost a bit of time there through the beginning of this S's section. Simmons up the inside, no way through, but he's going to lose speed here, and this is going to allow his teammate to get alongside in Ben Hackerson. Up to the top of the hill and up towards the Oak Tree Bend, the far side of the circuit. And we're now going to get the run off it, and Simmons is all over the place. He's in the grass there, putting 2 wheels in the grass on the exit. And here comes his teammate Ben Hackerson in the slipstream. They need to be careful around each other, of course, because they've now got Michael Shellback in that Alphalatech car for company.
Yeah, Shellback looked very competent earlier on, just working his way through that back, just slicing through, and he won't think twice about going for another place, so he doesn't have a look this time. But yeah, the two eclectic motorsport drivers that have decided not to battle through the roller coaster section, very sensible, wise driving there. Need to get back onto the tail of Matt Bunn as quickly as they possibly can. Laidler just 0.3 of a second, make that about 0.2 of a second behind Simon Field as well. So he's not giving up at all for another good result here. And yeah, Field will want to try and do this. Pete Newman, 4.5 seconds back. Hasn't been able to recover from that slowdown penalty that he got. So yeah, apologies for the curse. And we got one of them tonight anyway, Adam. Even if we couldn't get Baker in that last race.
No, we couldn't get Baker, fortunately. Yeah, but not good for Pete Newman. But yeah, 2 laps to go when we get to the line, and all of a sudden this race is entering its closing stages. That's how quick these races go in the BSR TC. Simon Field trying to hold off Russell Laidler. Russell Laidler trying to get a win on the board here tonight for Alphalatech. And Simon Field just trying to hold on. Let's see what the lap times were like last time around. 1:53.1 for Fields, 1:52.9. So a few tenths of a second in it. And Laidler was the quicker driver out of the guys at the front last time around. Onto the back straight. We'll see what the Alphalatech car can do in the slipstream. We know that the Race Up CQR car was quick in a straight line. Let's see what the Alphalatech team is like when it's got a slipstream, of course, plus a low downforce setting. Over the top of the hill we go. He's getting close, reaching top speeds of 250 or so kilometers per hour into the braking zone. Simon Field just able to hold on.
Yeah, and Fluke gets himself past Berridge
yeah,
as well, so up into a P5 for Fluke.
Top 5 for Jamie Fluke. Brilliant comeback through the pack. Matt Bunn holding off George Simmons and Ben Hackerson.
Oh, Smolenski into the tyre wall hard. He is not going anywhere.
Stuck
what
there.
happened there?
And I think it might have something to do with Stuart Atkinson, because Atkinson's off as well on the other side of the track. No, yeah, right, it's 3 cars, but I think Stuart Atkinson has got enough. He might get collected here. Stuart Atkinson, Richard Gore, and Alex Smolensky. Richard Gore and Smolensky have their own crash. Stuart Atkinson minding his own business, and as you would say, Alex, crash and wham.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, poor Atkinson. He had absolutely nothing there, did he, to involved in that? And it's just, I mean, it was just a racing incident where they come together and got stuck together and pushed aside, and it wasn't Gore's fault that he come across there or anything as well. I'm not just saying that because you know, he's just a passenger there really, and yeah, it's just unfortunate. But yeah, poor Stuart.
Ben Hackerson under pressure from Michael Shellback as we're on the penultimate lap of racing here at Virginia International Raceway. No change at the battle for the lead, I can tell you, but yeah, this battle for 7th place are continuing to simmer away. Onto the back straight, no change, no battle for lead as we were saying. But Matt Bunn just holding off George Simmons for now. Eclectic Motorsport will be happy with these 2 cars here. A shame to lose Stuart Atkinson like we did last lap. But 2 Eclectic Motorsports inside the top 10 for now, looking reasonably good. But here comes Shellback to try and spoil that party. He's got a great run out of the Oak Tree corner, and he might be clear before we even get to the roller coaster section. Ben Hackerson still holding in there, but he has to slot behind. And Ross Balfour might try to get a piece of the action as well. Up the inside, just not alongside enough to get that position. But he's got Michael Hall for company as well, does Ross Balfour. And now we're coming through to start the final lap of the race.
Yeah, just having a little look further back, see if there's anything we're missing. We haven't really gone and taken a look. Oh, all of a sudden, Mark Johnston just flies by Nathaniel Simpson. Simpson with some problems. McCarran gets himself up and past as well. So yeah, some good little battles going on further back as well. But not sure what happened to Nathaniel there, but some issues.
Yeah, he was in 16th at the start of the lap.
Got to switch back up as well,
Battle for
because
leaders,
Matt Bunn and George Simmons side by side, 10th of a second separating them. Shellback having a look. Oh, Shellback runs a little bit wide through the kink left there as well, going in, just using all the track and a little bit of the dirt to get it turned in. He was lucky to even make the corner, but pretty much there as they were. Matt Bunn holds on to that position.
Just ahead of George Simmons. Final lap then here at Virginia International Raceway. Simon Field just is holding on from Russell Laidler as well in this battle for the lead. Last time around, Field 153.1, 153.2 for Laidler, so 10th of a second slower, but this is going to go all the way, I think, in this final lap. Laidler gets a good run out of the oak tree.
From Laidler, yeah, definitely. This has got to be his best opportunity. 0.3 of a second. He will get a little run, surely. Oh, I'll tell you that Pete Newman-Mead, ex-Pete Newman-Mead, yeah, the Simpson racing car is extremely quick in a straight line, considering he was able to hold on. Oh, that's close.
Oh, they just give each other space. Simon Field's all over the place, and he's just on in front of Russell Laidler. How did he manage that? He was all over the place. He had all four wheels on the grass, but he's just been able to hold on. Is he going to hold it through the final corner? He goes wide, and Laidler's got a good run. We might have a run to the line here. Simon Field looks like he might just be able to hold on, but Russell Laidler's going to give it his all. Round 39 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship will go to Simon Field and Simpson Racing. Janowski will get third, Laidler second. Side by side to the line. Whoa!
Oh, who got that?
It was Fluke. It was Fluke and Newman, 0.000, shades of Daytona. We would have to go down to 10 thousandths of a second, I think, but Jamie Fluke is the one that comes out in front.
Well, Fluke will be happy with that, just nipping fourth there, right on the line. There's a few other little battles just sort of completing and crossing the line. This one looks pretty impressive. Kip Stevens, Andrew Whitehead, Paul Smith, all battling
through they are.
Final section of the track as well. It looks like Whitehead's going to come out on top. Paul Smith also will get a run on Kip Stevens and gets by-in into, I'm not quite sure
27th.
Yeah, there we go.
27th for Smith, 28th for Stevens. And the last car on the lead lap coming through was Cesaro Rizzo. Got 30th place. 0.000 though between Fluke and Pete Newman. Those of you that didn't see the final round of last season at Daytona will have seen that between Sebastian Job and Wojciech Savidovic. That's how close it was. But Simon Field, takes the win for Simpson Racing. A useful win for them. Simon Field, of course, leading the championship at the early stages of the season, and now gets another win. And a great result for Simpson Racing, even though Pete Newman, who was on the pole, ended up finishing in 5th in the end. Well, Alex, 4 brilliant races then, and race 4 was probably the best of the night. That probably joint with race 3, actually.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed both. Well, do you know what? I enjoyed all the races tonight. I thought they were all good. They all had their own little ups and downs and issues, and great driving and good overtaking in there. So, I've been pleasantly surprised by Virginia. Normally it can turn into a big wreckfest, but actually very, very good racing tonight.
Well, we'll run you through the finishing order. Simon Field takes the win then for Simpson Racing. Russell Laidler in second. Another good haul of points for Alphalatech with Julian Janowski in third. Jamie Fluke just pipping Pete Newman to the end by 0.000. Lee Berridge in 6th. 7th Matt Bunn. 8th George Simmons. 9th Michael Shellback in 10th Ben Hackerson. Ross Balfour 11th ahead of Michael Hall. Sharon Kaiser 13th. Wojciech Savidovic has a pretty decent evening, but he wasn't anywhere near challenging the cars at the front in 14th. Jack McIntyre finished in 15th, Laura Bond 16th, Richard Gore 17th, Mark Johnston finished in 18th, Nick McCarron 19th, and Nathaniel Simpson finished in 20th. Dan Hunt got 21st, 22nd Alex Everett, 23rd for Diego Melro, 24th Steve Hefford, 25th Robert Graham, 26th for Andrew Whitehead, 27th Paul Smith, 28th Kip Stevens, 29th Peter Van Gool, and then the last car on the lead lap in 30th was Cesaro Rizzo. 3 laps down, Stuart Atkinson along with Smolensky. Those two were involved in that crash with Richard Gore with a few laps to go. Craig Evans was also 3 laps down. David Baker 5 laps down, so the race 3 winner didn't have a good race 4 after starting 35th. Choose that full reverse grid. Jörg Danker, 35th, 5 laps down. 7 laps down, Jay Wright, along with Colin Cunniff, also 7 laps down. Jamie Rushworth and Ash Sutton were both involved in a crash on the first lap. They were also 7 laps down. Liam Atkins, 8 laps down, along with Andreas Katz, who had an awful evening. Roy Verke, 42nd. Stalin Chepelevsky, unfortunately, wasn't able to join his Alfa Alatech teammates in bringing in the points. He was out in the first lap in 43rd. Dan Kraft was 44th. After taking the race 1 win earlier on tonight, and then Nathan Davis finished in 45th with a blown engine. Right then, let's see if we've got any drivers for a quick word. And we haven't.
No one wants to speak to us tonight.
I think they're all probably exhausted because Virginia International Raceway is a very demanding track. Well,
it is a bit late as well, so I think we'll probably wrap up the show pretty quickly. With the delay in that final server.
Well, next week then, in the BSR TC, we continue our tour of North America. We head to Lime Rock Park, Alex.
Oh, short track, obviously, one left-hander in there, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Surely, with a full grid, we could just line up all of the cars and they'll touch each other, won't they? It's that small.
It really is. I do assure you, if you've never not seen a race there, definitely watch some of the ones from the previous seasons. We've had teammates taking each other out. I'll tell you what, if we had the up-to-date layouts of Lime Rock Park with the tightened corners, including a chicane or two, God knows what the racing would be like. But yeah, Lime Rock Park, it's quick, it's short, and it's everything that the BSR TC is all about. So yeah, bring on next week. And of course, the championship will be heating up as well. So, my thanks to Andrew Woodhouse for coming along to join join me and Alex for the first 2 races. Hope to see him possibly back in the commentary box for more next week. And of course, our thanks to Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver. I've been Adam Baffin. Thank you for watching the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and Motors TV. The next race meeting is at Lime Rock Park. We'll see you next week. Good night.